welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Laura Lee. Welcome. Today we're going to be making a delicious sweet and fluffy cornbread. If you guys like a sweet cornbread, I know some people like savory over sweet, but if you really like sweet cornbread, this is the recipe you're going to want to try. It's sweet, fluffy, and delicious. I hope you all have been well and blessed. Now it's time to get cooking on this sweet cornbread. So come on in so I can show you what you're going to be needing for this recipe. Here's what you're going to be needing for this recipe. You're going to be needing 1.5 cups of milk, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, plus 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of salted melted butter, 1 tablespoon of oil, and the last ingredient you're going to need is 2 room temperature eggs. The very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your milk and you're going to place your vinegar, your 1 tablespoon of vinegar inside of your milk. Now, if you'd like, you can also use buttermilk instead of pouring the vinegar. Now you're just going to set that aside for now. Now you're going to want to take a separate, smaller bowl. And this part, make sure your melted butter is not very, very hot. Make sure it's cooled a little so that way you don't make scrambled eggs out of your eggs, because you're going to be adding them to this part as well. And I just placed the eggs, the butter, and the oil in during this process. And then I just give it like a quick mix. Since I was little, I always loved cornbread. My mom used to have me make it all of the time when I was small and younger. And I don't know how many times I've made cornbread, but it's one of my favorite. I've done healthy versions of cornbread. Now, this is not such a healthy version of cornbread, but it's a delicious cornbread. And then you're just going to want to whisk it a little, see? That's how you know that your butter's not hot, because you don't have scrambled eggs here, guys. Just let it cool a little. Now you're going to want to get a separate bowl. Okay, so now that you did your egg and wet mixture, you're going to want to place all of your dry ingredients in, like your cornmeal and your flour, your sugar and baking soda and salt. Come on out of there. Now at this point you're going to want to mix it well, because you want to make sure all of your cornmeal and your flour and all your ingredients get mixed thoroughly. You don't want to be tasting salt in one area of your cornmeal or your cornbread batter. Gosh, I remember just making this all the time when I was little with my mom. She would put me in there and I would think I was so special because I was helping in the kitchen and making cornbread. It was always one of my favorite things, but I always liked the sweeter cornbread. I've done it all sorts of ways, but sweet cornbread is my favorite. Let me know down in the comments if it's yours too. Okay, it's all mixed up. Now see how your milk came out? It came out curdled like buttermilk. Now if you want to use buttermilk, that's highly up to you. But I don't have it regularly in my refrigerator, so this is what I do and I use it and it works well. So now I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to make a little well. See that lumpy, clumpy milk? And I'm also going to place my butter and oils and eggs in the mixture as well. You don't have to be exactly precise about everything. Just make it to your best ability. Now this part, you don't want to overmix on this part because you don't want a tough cornbread. You want a fluffy cornbread. That's why I like sweet cornbread. You have to make life sweet. Even when you're going through difficult times in your life, you want to make sure that you find the joy in each thing in your life. Because life can be hard, but you got to take the good and outweigh it with the bad. You see? You don't mix it too much. And I still have a few lumps in there, just like a pancake batter. And you're done. Now I'm going to get my, I believe it's a 10-inch cast iron pan. Here's my pan. And you guys can use whatever pan you guys have. Glass pan. You guys got to do what's best for your home. You don't have to go out get a cast iron pan just to make this recipe. It'll still come out delicious. And then I just took a little bit of butter on a paper towel, and then I just wiped it throughout my pan. If you want, you can also use spray oil. I also have done that. It just depends on how you feel for the day. If you feel a little buttery, place some butter on it. The first thing you want to do before you start this recipe is you want to make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. That way your oven can be nice and hot. Now we're just going to pour this batter in there. You guys, when I was little, okay, I would love to lick the bowl afterwards. I know now they say, oh, don't eat the raw eggs or don't do this, but I've always eaten it from there and licked the bowl because it was always my favorite. Comment down below if you guys have done that with cake batter or any batter, and then just make sure you got all of that in. I know this may sound gross too, but my dad used to eat raw eggs because we would always have chickens, and I guess he watched too many Rocky movies or something, but he would always take the egg sometimes and for the protein and ate it raw. Now that I would not do. So now we're gonna stick this into the oven. Now the way you make sure you check it for doneness is you're going to place a toothpick in the center, and if it comes out dry, then you're good to go, guys. You can also slather some butter on it and put honey on it. It's your preference. You guys got to do what's best in your home and what you guys like. Now I'm going to take some butter and just place it over. You don't have to put a lot. You can just put a little bit, but it's going to be that delicious, yummy flavor. And I'm going to drizzle some honey over it. Guys. If you guys like a sweet cornbread, this is going to be the ticket for you. It's going to be hot still. I advise you to wait a little bit before you cut it, but I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to go all in and cut it out. You see that fluffiness as you're cutting into your cornbread? Okay guys, this first part is going to be tricky because the first cornbread is always tricky. Whew. You can see the heat coming off of that, and you can see the fluff. Look at that fluffiness of that cornbread. Look at it. So fluffy. Now I'm going to try this for you guys. I'm just waiting for my beans, but I'm going to take this snack for you guys. Okay, you guys, it has like a crisp on top, and then it has the softness. Here's a piece for you guys. Sorry, I'll eat it for you guys, okay? Now I'm gonna have this with my beans that I'm cooking on the stove. Until next time, you guys be kind to one another. Don't forget to appreciate every day that you're blessed with. And don't forget to subscribe for more of these videos. Until next time, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye!